I love Navy Pier. Not really the place, but the idea behind it. And the memories. I was very young when I first went, so I can't even remember what age I was. But I remembered the trip vividly. The lights, the sounds, the Chicago skyline in the background. It was magical. It was one of those experiences that every child has, something that can be remembered as the golden age of your life, no matter how old you are and how great your life is. There is that one defining moment, and mine was Navy Pier. Of course, it could just be rosy retrospection, a glimmer of the past that the more tightly I hold on to that memory, the brighter it becomes. I don't believe so, though. I remember walking from my uncle's apartment, which was right across the street. I remember seeing the big sign, Navy Pier, with the Ferris wheel behind it. It was in the fall at night, so it wasn't too crowded. We went to all the tacky shops, bought some touristy stuff, ate the ill-prepared food, played the year-round carnival games, and I loved every second of it. See, now I know that it's all a gimmick. The only reason Navy Pier is there is to impress tourists, but I didn't know that at the time. Ignorance is bliss, and that night was certainly blissful. I remember the mirror maze, the rides, the movie theater, and the stained glass windows. I remember dancing with my sister at the end of Navy Pier, in the style that only children can accomplish. There was the sound of Lake Michigan, hulking and massive, but at rest. A lone trumpet was playing somewhere, and there were people milling about. My parents sat on a bench and watched us, looking content to actually sit for a moment. My sister and I were exhausting. We went on the Ferris wheel next. There is no view better in the world, as far as I'm concerned, than from the top of that Ferris wheel. I've been to the Eiffel Tower, I've been on top of mountains, I've traveled around the world, and nothing beats it. There is still so much to see, I know, so many different views, but at that moment, at that time, sitting about 100 feet in the air looking at the Chicago skyline, the world was perfect, just for a second. I went back there last year with my newspaper class. It was really just a trip for fun, but we went in the late fall so no one was at Navy Pier. The rest of the class stayed together, going from shop to shop, but I went off on my own. I took pictures of what I saw, the grand majesty behind Navy Pier, and I took pictures of the rundown aspect as well. I went and saw everything by myself, really for the first time since all of those years ago. The lake seemed a bit darker, nothing was really up and running, but I saw that glimmer that I remembered as a child. I rode the Ferris wheel again and felt like I was that unknown age again. A very strong sense of nostalgia washed over me, something that really shouldn't be happening to a 17-year-old, but it flooded my senses anyway as I looked out at the golden lights of Chicago. And make no mistake, they are golden. Some cities just have a hue to them. Madison is a white city, blinding at night. New Orleans is purple, a royal color for the peasantry of Mardi Gras. Paris is tan, the color of all sandstone used in the old buildings. But Chicago is golden, surrounded by black glass buildings. It gives a feeling to the city, not the same feeling for all people, but definitely a feeling. For me, that feeling was of home.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, Chicago. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Thank you for riding
Chicago,
Navy
Chicago,
Pier Ferris wheel.
Chicago.
You're welcome.